TV channel 254 and Go TV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Good morning, it's Friday the 8th day of November 2024 and today as always we'll be taking a look at commodity reports and activities from our selected exchanges on the segment Opening Bell. Business news stories from around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria on the segment The Eastern Business Report. And of course, finally, we would bring to you activities and conversations around the market on Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China, opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. Welcome to Opening Bell right here on the Afia Business Morning. So we're going quickly to our featured exchanges, and we're starting off on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning. It was reported that, the NGX all shares yesterday closed on a high, rising by 0.09% to close at 96,924.88 points. And you may be also interested to know that the total of 744,537,143 shares, valued at 16,477,740,555 naira 41 kobo, were traded across 9,700 deals, with equity capitalization of 58,731,628,087,432 naira 85 kobo. Now we're going to be taking a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day. I'm interested to know that the biggest gainer of the day was corn oil, which rose by 10%. Other gainers were the likes of Aradel, EU Incel, John Holt PLC, and Thomas Y. However, on the other hand, Tantalizer topped the losers list with a decline of 6.25%. Other losers were the likes of the NGX Group himself, Wema Bank, RT Briscoe, and the FCMB. We're going to a quick break, and when we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges and talk about the likes of the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, and of course the Chinese Stock Exchange, which of course comprises Shenzhen and the Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning, indeed, opening bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. Good to have you rejoin us, and yes, indeed, you're watching Opening Bell. And now we're moving on to our featured exchanges, other featured exchanges, starting off on the floors of the New York Stock Exchange, where it's reportedly mostly rises in index values across the board. With the only stock which goes down, it's the NYSE US 100 index, which is down at 0.11%. However, the NYSE Composite DJ is up at 1.27%. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 3.08%. S&P 500 Index is up 1.86%. NYSE FANG TM Index is up 2.21%. Nasdaq Composite and Nasdaq 100 are both up at 2.10% and 1.86% respectively. Now we'll move over to the London Exchange, and interestingly, it's all rises in index values across the board. FTSE 100 is up at 0.00%. Well, FTSE 250 is up at 0.70%. FTSE 350 is up 0.11%. FTSE All-Share Index is up at 0.12%. Away from that, let's take a look at Chinese Stock Exchange, starting off at the exchange at Shenzhen, where it is also all rises. Shenzhen Component Index is up 2.44%. SZSE Composite Index is up 0.10%. The China Index is up at 3.75%. Beg your pardon. While we remain in China, let's move over to Shanghai, where the repeat is the same here. Is all rises. SSE Composite Index is up at 2.57%. The SSE 50 Index is up at a whopping 3.37%. Star 50 Index is up 0.19%. SSE 180 Index up 2.98%. SSE 380 Index is up 0.05%. The CSI 300 Index is also up at 3.02%. We'll go on another break, and when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as at consumer price watching the April market. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/@Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And just so you know, too, we're on social media. Do well to join us on our social media, Instagram specifically with the handle at Afia Business _ just so you'll be part of our social media community. You have your business morning, and indeed, Opening Bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.
You're welcome back, and I am Ubon King. Still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Afia Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and interestingly, it's upward movement for gold today, and almost all precious metals except for palladium, which is down 0.06%. However, gold is up at 1.51%, silver is up at 2.07%, platinum is up also at 0.82%. Let's check out energy now. Energy, well, it's a mixture of rises and dips in index values across board, with more of dips than rises. We have coal, we have brass, river and Kwaibo up at 0.59%, 1.87% and 1.87% respectively. However, natural gas is down, ethanol is down at 2.44% and 0.95% respectively. Oil Brent is also down at 0.35%. Oil Bunny Light is down at 2.84%. Let's take a look at industrial metals now. It's a mixture of rises and dips as always, but more of dips than rises. The commodities that are up are aluminium, lead, and of course nickel, which are all up at 1.66%, 1.38%, and 0.64%. However, on the other hand, iron ore is down 1.04%. Copper is down at a whooping 3.62%. Zinc and tin both down also at 3.19% and 0.20% respectively. You're watching the Afia Business Morning. This indeed is Afia Bell. Do want to follow the program. Join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business while you're there. Do want to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe as well, so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And while you're at it, just so you know, you can follow us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in fuel prices. And on that note, I would see you on Monday on the Open Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. Coming up next is a segment Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning. My name is Ubon Kings. Stay tuned.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell, where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports, as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me right here on the Global Business segment of the Afia Business Morning. And right here, what we do is simple. We take you through a trip around the world of business within Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. And these are the headlines that I'm tracking at the moment. Starting from Africa, where it's reported that Libya is planning its first oil exploration tender. And outside Africa now, Australia proposes ban on social media for children. And from the forest, the European Union calls to avoid Trump's tariffs. Bring you details of these news stories and more right after this time out. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning. So we begin, let's jump right in and start with stories from Africa, where it's reported that Libya, home to Africa's largest oil reserves, is set to hold its first energy exploration contract tender since the 2011 civil war, as the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, member aims to bring back oil majors who have been hesitant due to years of instability and production disruptions. However, the government plans to offer both onshore and offshore blocks in a bidding round scheduled for either the end of this year or early 2025. This is according to the oil minister, Khalifa Abdul Sadiq. If you ask me, there are a few things that stands out from this story, this reportage for me, and I'm going to just share them with you in a quick bit. Now, number one is the fact that Libya is aiming to bring back oil majors who have been hesitant, of course, for obvious reasons, because of the political instability and production, disruptions, as it was, evident in the civil war of 2011 in that country. But then they are set to hold the first ever energy exploration contract tender since the civil war of 2011. Now, another interesting part is this. Listen to this. Libya's oil production recovered. Now, hold up. Recovered, meaning just pretty much dead. Recovered, but then recovered to what? To over 1.3 million barrels per day from a 2011 civil war. They're producing as much as over 1.3 million barrels a day. Hold up. And then they say, which is the highest level in years. Great part to note there. And then this could also be boosted, according to them, according to the minister. They say it could be boosted to an output of 1.6 million barrels per day by the end of 2025. Nigeria, as of July 23, 2024, Nigeria's average daily crude oil production was 1.61 million barrels per day. Yet the country's potential to produce up to 2 million barrels per day is hindered by quite a number of factors, which of course we have a way of justifying a lot of nonsense, really. Oil theft, yes. Pipeline vandalization, yeah, blah, 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 etc. But then, this is a country that has been under siege, for lack of better expression, civil war since 2011. Somehow they're coming out, and the first batch of production is 1.3 million barrels. We have been producing forever 1.61. Yet we've not been able to take care of our own major, I call them minor issues, because compared to a civil war. All right, I'll leave you there. I'll let you be the judge of this matter and move on to other stories. And this time around from the world of tech. And I also put humanitarian affairs also in the equation here, where it's reported that the Australian government would legislate for a ban on social media for children under the age of 16. This is according to Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who stated this in what it calls a world-leading package of measures that will become a law next year, late next year by the way, which is said to be part of a range of measures that includes some of the toughest controls imposed by any country to date. Furthermore, the Prime Minister cited the risks to the physical and mental health of children from the excessive social media use, in particular the risks to girls from harmful depictions of body image and misogynistic content aimed at boys. Now, significantly, a number of countries have already vowed to crush or rather curb social media use by children through legislation, though Australia's policy is one of the most stringent. Now let's put some things in perspective. Now you pretty much may think it is too much, but the case in point is, or maybe are, the risks, yes, to physical health, mental health of these children from excessive use of social media. But there's a B part. The B part is the money that is being made off children using social media. I bet you didn't see that one coming. But are you aware that according to a study that the CHDS faculty Zachary Ward, which of course co-authored that study, it was reviewed clearly in clear terms. Let me get these facts real clear. It was found out that collectively social media platforms, the six of them, actually made nearly 11 billion US dollars in worth of advertising revenue from US users under the age of 18. This was in 2022. Just hold on, let me break it down. YouTube, on one hand, derived the greatest ad revenue from users 12 years and under, an equivalent of 959.1 million US dollars. Take note of the figures. Followed by Instagram, which made about 801.1 million US dollars, and Facebook followed next at 137.2 million US dollars. Interestingly too, Instagram, on the other hand, derived the greatest ad revenue from users aged between 13 and 17 at 4 billion US dollars, followed by TikTok at 2 billion US dollars and YouTube at 1.2 billion dollars, I beg your pardon. Now you understand, or maybe have an inkling to understand, why the Australian government's social media policy is one of the most stringent in recent times. And the earlier that we here in Nigeria begin to look at it critically, the better for us. You're still watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. Kindly join in on the conversation, and you can watch it live right now because we are live on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button, and remember you can follow us on socials. Yes indeed, follow us on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle at Afia Business _ just so you can be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be having more business news stories from, well, automotive world and other stories right after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm even a market pikin.
You're welcome back to the Afia Business Morning brought to you on Afia TV, and you're watching Global Business. Now to the rest of our stories. This time we're moving into the stories from the automotive world, where it's reported that the shares of Tesla has jumped following an election result that is to send Donald Trump back into the White House, an outcome that has been strongly backed by CEO Elon Musk in the closing months of the race, with the expectation that subsidies for alternative energy and electric vehicles will be threatened. While that would be a negative overall for the industry, it could give Tesla an advantage because of market share, where shares of viral electric vehicles sank sharply. Tesla shares jumped 14% at the opening bell. Meanwhile, Trump proposed tariffs of 10% to 20% on foreign goods that would also impact electric vehicle markets outside the US, especially in China. Now, well, from my standpoint, I'd say that this was expected. Yeah, I did say that, I had said it one time on the show that when there are times for elections and stuff like that, it literally could affect the shares of quoted companies. And this, at the moment, is a joyride, as it were, for Tesla now. Because if he was a supporter of the Kamala Harris campaign train, chances are the opposite will be the case, because once your brand or company, especially if it has shares in the market, identifies with a particular person, political figure or something, and there is a negative response or a negative trend that plays out, chances are your shares will follow that negative trend to go down. It's just what it is, politics and, you know, business. It's just what it is, because people now not have faith or confidence in that product or that company, right? So the shares will go down. People now start selling before this thing gets out of hand. You get the opposite comes in when you align yourself with the political figure or whatever event it is that gives a positive outcome. Chances are the shares appreciate. It's just what it is, right? But then again, there are a lot of things that would play out here, because even the stock exchange as at yesterday, just so you know, was bullish. I mean, it was all rises all the way, you know, conveying, of course, the mood of the election victory. Well, fingers crossed, and again, we should just say congratulations to Trump, really. And in a related development, and in an attempt to end this bulletin, let's bring you this report that the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, has proposed tariffs of 10% to 20%, you know, on foreign goods that would also impact electric vehicles outside the US, especially in China, where over 180,000 jobs could be lost in the European automotive industry over the next decade. However, the Association of the German Automotive Industry, VDA's spokesperson Simon Schutz, has stated that everything must be done to ensure that new US tariffs are not imposed, as the situation for the automotive industry in Germany is already difficult, with Volkswagen recently announcing the closure of 3 plants. Now, I agree. Okay, it's a, you know, it's two-way actually, because the truth is that this proposed tariff may not be in the best interest of China and the US by extension, especially with reference to its growing electric vehicles market. I'm interested to know that, according to the story, German automotive industry VDS spokesperson and the person Simon Schultz had even suggested that everything must be done to ensure that new US tariffs are not imposed, as the situation for the automotive industry in Germany already is difficult. You know why? I tell you. Imagine being you coming as the world power, someone who controls the world power. Let's look at it. And you say there's going to be tariffs on anything that has to do with the electric vehicle market and even to steel coming into the country from outside the country. Do you know what that does? That would, to a large extent, cause those companies outside the country, whether in the European Union, outside the European Union, to pay more to get their goods in, which in turn will make the goods that come into that country a lot more expensive compared to the ones produced within that country. You see the dynamics here. So it's more or less a case of trying to make sure that the economy in the US benefits. Why? By supporting its own local producers. This is where Tesla would enjoy benefits. That's just what it is. Because if you're bringing in a vehicle from China, for instance, already the European Union has already imposed taxes, let's call it taxes, on so to speak, tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles coming into the European Union. How about it move from not just European Union now and then into the US, extra more charges? So that would completely discourage, so to speak, them importing these vehicles into the country, right? So that way, Tesla, on the other hand, will benefit because it produces its stuff right there. But then, the other B part, the B part is the fact that most of these European Union, automotive players, they have factories in other places, especially in China, where of course everything is almost cheaper, right? And that will affect, to a large extent, their final product when it comes to the US. So this is why they are fighting to hopefully not have it happen. Anyway, Euronews took out the time to report on the European Union car and steel industries calling to avoid Trump's tariffs. Let's take a look.
If Donald Trump does what he promised during the electoral campaign, EU economic growth could be seriously undermined. The president-elect repeatedly stated his intention to impose a 10% tariff on European products. And one of the worst-hit sectors would be the automotive industry, in particular the German one. The Association of the German Automotive Industry says everything must be done to ensure that new US tariffs are not imposed.
I think that both sides need to talk to prevent this. If it happens, we both know what will happen next. Then the European Union will probably have some measurements already ready, and that will be another start of a trade conflict or something in that direction. And that is not what we need. Europe and the US need to understand now that looking at all the geopolitical challenges, that we need to work together, and that geopolitics and economics needs to be thought together.
The situation for the automotive industry in Germany is already difficult, with Volkswagen recently announcing the closure of 3 plants. A recent study found that 168,000 jobs could be lost over the next decade as the industry switches to EV production. The other most affected sector would be the steel industry. The US and Europe still haven't fully resolved the issue of tariffs imposed by the previous Trump administration. They have already caused a noticeable slump in exports. According to the European Steel Association, further lengthy and complex negotiations lie ahead.
There was found a kind of way forward between Joe Biden and the European Commission, Ms. von der Leyen, to address the trade conflicts concerning steel with a global arrangement on sustainable steel and aluminium. The negotiations had been stalled since the election campaigns in the US started. And we have, of course, hoped, and we still hope, that the negotiations can continue now after the elections to find a solution, because otherwise we will fall back into the tough 25% tariffs on European steel.
The association also underlines the need for the new US president to be persuaded of the climate goals, not least for his own country's industry, as steel and aluminium production is one of the biggest carbon emitters.
Oh well, follow with the story and other stories as they unfold and keep you in the loop. And talk about keeping you in the loop, you may want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel and watch it live and be part of the conversations there. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do it to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And by the way, we are available on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle @Afia Business_. Do it to get there, and it'll be part of our social media community. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live on Afia TV. Coming up next, we'll be looking at stories we tracked in the course of the week and conversations that we had also in the course of this week on the Eastern Business Report, which is coming up right after this time out. The Afia Business Morning will be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market pikin.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like speechbags, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our speechbag is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. See opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still the Afia Business Morning. This indeed is the Eastern Business Report, which is designed to bring you up to speed on, business activities and policies, issues also affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria. It comes right after Global Business on the Afia Business Morning. And today, being Friday, usually we take out the time to look at the week in retrospect, looking at developing stories and conversations we've had in the week. And on Monday, we actually took out the time in a monologue. Actually, I did share some developing stories that would form the basis of our conversation for the week. From airfare hikes to Dangote Ipman issues to recognition of the non-formal sector that employs over 70% of Nigerians. Oh well, let's take a look at these particular issues that form the crux of our conversation for the week.
From November 1st, 2024, passengers will be required to pay up to N$200,000 for a one-way ticket. This hike comes as airlines across the country struggle to cope with rising operational costs. Economic challenges force airpeace to raise prices. The increase in airfares has been attributed to worsening economic conditions in Nigeria. An official from airpeace explained that the escalating cost of aviation fuel, maintenance, and taxes are major factors driving the fare hike. The airline, like many others, is feeling the pressure from rising costs and is left with no option but to pass this on to consumers.
But he was telling us, first, he even tell us that he is not going to engage with us. He just want to deal with individual marketers. It's an insult to our own integrity. Everybody knows Ipman. Everybody knows how the strength we have. We oversighted, and we still went back to him about 3 to 4 times. But yet, he said to see us. He would tell us. He would call us. He would call us. So, we just had in his press conference like 2-3 days in the villa that we are yet. We don't want to come and buy product. If we don't want, we couldn't even reach at him. We really wanted so that at least maybe the product, our expectation, when we go there, maybe he allocates some product to us. We will be having less price than where we were taking. But at the moment, now we say, only if you go to him, we as marketers trying to buy, or anybody wants to buy, he just gives you as a bulk at 995 naira. And we're talking about when you buy it, it's not like trucking. You have to take it to on a vessel. So if you compare that last week, that was why when you from his depot to other depots, his product is going to be around 1,020 something naira. So it's better you import. It's more cheaper. I don't go to as a body. Ipman has not transacted with Ipman.
Juliet Okafor started her business out of necessity. She had to stop her education in 2012 to learn tailoring and support her family. Today, she runs a small ready-to-wear fashion shop in Abuja, where she works hard to provide for her family and slowly grow her brand. However, with rising costs and low profits, it hasn't been an easy journey.
The informal sector is the backbone of Nigeria's economy, providing over 80% of jobs and contributing 46% to the nation's GDP. Yet, despite its importance, these businesses often go unrecognized, struggling with inconsistent government policies and lack of support. Nearly 90% earn about $320 a month, with just partly 1.3% making over $1,500.
Nigeria's informal sector faces tough times.
Oh, well, those are the stories that we began to unfold in the course of this week, and it developed into conversations eventually. And on Tuesday, building on the issues around airfares soaring to about 250%, I was able to play host to the man Wilson Uche, the convener of the aviation meet, and we looked at these issues around the fact that Nigerians are rushing for Christmas bookings and the attendant issues with soaring prices of transportation, especially airfares, rising by as much as 250%. Let's see excerpts from that particular session as well.
Normally, we see a situation whereby there's an increase in price, no matter what it is, both in land transportation and all of that, because there's a large number of movements of both human and even goods. So that puts a whole lot of pressure on the transport system. But in this case, I think I personally, this is my personal view on this, I think it's not something that anybody would want to accept. Because let me give you an instance. I have places to go to, and I decided to make booking ahead. That should be around December, early December, and then middle of December. So earlier on, I saw the fare to be around 150,000 per trip. Then again, I checked the next day; it was already 285,000, 286, and 286. When you look at it, then when you now book it, eventually you get it at 300,000. So for those 3 trips, I'm going to make during December period. That means I'm going to be spending over 1.2 million. If there's a way to assist the airline, then the government should come in and assist the airline. But most of all, we should look into alternative means of transportation, because there's so much pressure in the airline industry. Just like the government is coming up with CNG and all of that. We should be able to make our roads motorable there must be things, or even coming up with subsidies. There must be a way to cushion the effect that this increment is bringing to the general populace. Government came up with a way to subsidize things. At least they came up with the issue of CNG, providing CNG buses and all of that in order to reduce the cost. And also talked about giving out palliatives. There is this possibility that government should be able to cushion the effects, because the effect is so high. I tell you the truth, how many Nigerians can afford 300,000 naira a trip? And then if the person has to return and the person has to pay another 300,000 naira, you see that people will go out of their way to be able to travel.
Well, there you have it. That was what happened on Tuesday. Monday, remember, Monday was just us setting a precedent for the conversations for the week, where we, in a nutshell, we were going to look at issues around the airfare hikes. We're going to look at issues around the Dangote Ipman issues, with reference to, well, the fact that Ipman is accusing Dangote of exorbitant charges as far as the fuel price is concerned, and that they probably get it a lot cheaper outside the country by importing, actually. And then the other conversation about the recognition of the non-formal sector that employs over 70% of Nigerians. Those were the issues, and then you just saw what happened on Tuesday, basically. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at what happened on Wednesday and what happened on Thursday. Remember, we're doing a recap, basically a review of conversations, developing stories that we had in the course of the week. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at what happened on Wednesday and on Thursday. Please stay. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in market speaking.
Great to have you rejoin us. Still the Eastern Business Report, and we're taking out the time to look at conversations that we had in the course of the week. And yeah, we had seen what happened on Monday and on Tuesday. Now let's check out what happened on Wednesday. Wednesday, I played host to Emmanuel Chime, public affairs analyst, and we took out the time to look at the issues around this Dangote and marketers' rift. The allegations that Dangote's petrol price is too high, and that marketers will prefer to import, and according to them, it's a lot cheaper importing it. Let's see excerpts from that particular session real quick.
Coming to the issue of Ipman and Dangote refineries, I think what Dangote is clearly doing is that Dangote is actually fighting against competition. Simple. Dangote have lived all his business life, corporate life, fighting competition. He don't like competition at all in any business field where he finds himself. Even if the business have been in existence, whenever he goes into that particular business circle, the next thing you start saying is Dangote fighting competition there. He wants to see himself being the monopolist right there in that particular business circle. And oil industry is not exceptional. So that's exactly what you're seeing right now. That he's refusing to have an interface with Ipman and of course other marketers' bodies thereabouts. It's not unconnected to the fact that he did not want to see where people will tell him, okay, these are realities that have been on ground. We know about this. Why not we'll do this? If we'll do this, we'll still make your gain. And we'll go ahead to assuage Nigerians of suffering that Nigerians are being bedeviled with currently. But it now so to do like from the video we just watched right now, and the man speaking right there rightly said that he said no, he wants to be dealing with marketers individually, not as a body. Now, and you see where the allegations are coming. At the time, Dangote rightly raised an uproar saying that international oil companies have come to a particular farm, a particular oil farm just next to his own refineries, and rented a particular farm to begin to use it and stockpile, he said, substandard products to saturate the petroleum market of Nigeria. And for goodness sake, you want to play one kind of mind games, these have been his gimmicks all over the time. If you want to actually see that happening, with sincerity of purpose from the side of the government, then we'll be seeing where licenses are being issued to other prospective investors. One, to go into refinery establishments. One, two, to go into importations. Two, wouldn't be waiting for refineries that may want to just start from scratch to be established. To be established before we now start having a better, lifeline in that sector. I think we should be managing the ones that are being imported for the meantime. Then rolling it at par with the ones that are being locally produced. For instance, that of the Dangote refineries. But meanwhile, if we want to get it at a point where we will have an even space where competition thrives, then we'll be having options. If we do not give room for options, then monopoly will kill the economy the more.
Oh well, that's what happened on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, the following day, I was excited to play host to Emeka Udom, a seasoned journalist and a public affairs analyst, and we looked at the drama surrounding the Nigerian informal sector, which incidentally employs about 76.7% of Nigerians, and the fact that experts are calling for the formal recognition of this informal economy. Let's look at excerpts from that particular session.
This is why I said that they know. For instance, the government agencies know this because when they want to collect the taxes from them, they know where to meet them, and eventually they end up collecting tax from them, and so they know. That is number one. Number two, now in the banking sphere, they are aware that they exist, and it might interest you to also know that today, almost all the banks, they have their marketers who are on one-on-one, who go out on one-on-one marketing.
Yes.
Now, so they see these people, they encourage them to please come and bank with us. But unfortunately, nothing is done in return to them because number one, these people is very obvious that they need more capital to improve their business. That is very clear. But they don't have any collateral anywhere. Not even the microfinance banks. Because one could argue that, well, why it may not be easy to lower the standards of the commercial banks in terms of, conditions to obtain a loan. Now, if you look at the legal frameworks establishing the microfinance houses, these are with the intention, the establishment of that, these other microfinance houses are done with the intention to cater for smaller businesses. In other words, a man who is operating a business that is on a share capital of, say, 50,000 naira, 25,000, should be able to walk into a microfinance bank to get a facility to improve his business. But that is not happening. And that is why I mean that, when you talk about recognition, yes, at that level, that is not happening. Nobody is recognizing it, because if that man that is operating, no matter how small business, what a small business, he can't walk into anywhere to obtain a loan or any facility to improve his business. The conditions they will give to him there, they either tell him, look, you need to open an account with us and save continuously for 2 or 3 months. And eventually, and for him to consistently save, that may not happen because of the harsh realities that we are facing today. Because he can only save after he must have met his challenges, his daily challenges. Feed his family, pay electricity bill, pay transport bill, pay all the necessary bills,
raw materials to produce again.
Buy raw materials to produce again. Then whatever is left, he can now go to the bank to deposit. Now, if that doesn't happen, you can't say for me that he has failed for that day. That is what the problem is. Not much is being done to help these people. And that is why when government comes and announces all these facilities, they just hear them and they dismiss them. They don't believe in them, because they will tell you, just mention one person who has benefited from this.
That's an issue.
And obviously you will see.
Oh well, that's basically the things, the conversations we had in the past week. You may want to follow us and join us on our dedicated YouTube channel to see full episodes of these particular sessions at www.youtube.com/@Afia Business. While you're there, remember to hit the like button and subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also, by the way, follow us on social media, Instagram specifically, with the handle @Afia Business _ just to be part of our social media community. Coming up next is Only Afia. My name is Ubong Kings. Good morning.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 2.
You've often wondered, what does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? You know, what's the intersections? What are the conversations we're having about our Igbo spirituality, culture? An example is people wearing red cap. You know, everybody wears red cap. Are they entitled to wear it? What does Nzen also mean? What does
Hello, what's up, Ndi Afia? Welcome to the Onya Afia podcast, where we talk about trade and the lifestyle of a hustler. My name is Harchelu, and I have here in the studio with me, CEO Nosa.
No.
Welcome.
Obi na tomote na ba. Nice everybody. Dalo
kwano. CEO is a very interesting name. How did it happen? How did you come up with it?
Nke bụ eziokwu bụ na abịa chọpụta na ọ bụ na gbakọta family n'ọnụ. Ya bụ Chukwuma Ephraim Okenwa. Iweta si tiele Obole bụ CEO.
CEO Chukwuma Ephraim Okenwa.
Na afa na ado da na agbagochukwa ndị mmadụ aya.
Yes.
Maka mele people afọ masị m na Osogbu bụ Chief Executive Officer.
Are you doing
na ihe dịkwada bụ na eziokwu na ọ dịka CEO nke m bido n'afọ.
Ọ dịka in an eye into the future that this man or be CEO. It's interesting because if I know Kumakia today is inheritance. How is it? Kedi Hana inheritance Nibo?
Okay. Ine Kumaka inheritance, ine Kumade Ogabo Made Natahe from either Monna. Yana Nana Batako. Bafakwala ụmụ ha ụmụ ewe ebe ha ga-ebido maka na n'ihe dị na ụmụ ya inheritance dịkwa ka relay race ebe ọ ga-abụ ewe ike ewe onye nke mbụ ewe onye nke abụọ nke atọ na nke anọ bụ onye ga-agbarụzi isi ya ọ bụ na iwe onye bidowolo ya bụ ije wee gbalụọ wee gị ma na-ewe ebe ị ga-ebido mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ọ na-adịkwa ndị ga-ebichewu maka ebe asị na no condition mere crayfish ji gbago ewata na nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ewekwe some parents wee ka ebiche na ewele ihe ọbụla ha dobere ụmụ ha mana na-abịa n'ihe a na-ahapụla ụmụaka na ọ bụ na nne na nna ewele ike hapụ akụ mana ọ hapụ ha ezigbo afa hapụ ha goodwill maka ewe ndị afa nne na nna ha na-emepere
ha ụzọ
na owe ọ ga-abụ anụ na nwa ya bụ na onye ha bụ nwa Dangote na
you yourself you go one align make you still help that person
ịnụ nwa Dangote ọ sị gị na ọ chọkwa ị na-aza sọ na-eme go asị
me myself
can I ike ịtụkwasị dị afa n'enu afa gị ọ bụla ya bụ na ọ na-aga mana ewezie ndị ọ ga-abụ ewe ike na ha kpatawụla ihe mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na otu ha si zụọ ụmụ ha mere ha ọ dị ha ka mmadụ iwere ya bụ batin wee gbarụ na ihe ọjọọ anụ ndị Igbo kacha eme mistake
anyị
nwabụ ndị ụzọ na-ebe ụzọ azụ Emeka Sons mana ebe anyị ji eme the mistake bụ na onye ọbụla ga-achọ na ọ bụ na ntoluo ka mkpata nke m na nke m bụ nke m and the majorism just need to prove a point to your
just
parents.
Want to prove a point.
And in most cases, it's clear if
it's not.
We call ya kanka the business anaka. Immediately lawyer that chapel. I said the business no. Maka na ụmụaka na-abata ewe ike ọ bụ na ha ma ada ebe mmiri wee bido wee maba ịbatazi bụrụ the business ka ị na-ekili ihe niile awụsa naanị ndị na-ekili asị na ọkwa ekwulie na ụmụaka azụtara eweli ihe na-asị gị na ndị wee ike amala naanị ndị wee imi agbara atụ akpa ụtaba.
So let's talk about you run a second generation business. The Queen's Model School. I hear. You are here, so you are going to confirm if I'm wrong, right? I hear that it was founded by your mother, and after running it for a while, she handed it over to you. Right?
Yes.
Adam, correct?
Yes, I did correct.
Now, how is a second generation business different from every other business that someone runs?
Yeah. In terms of difference, when you talk about second generational, business, the first difference is that you don't have to start entirely from the scratch. You are inheriting a shoe, but the challenge there could now be that if your shoe is not properly positioned to carry the business, certainly, as a matter of fact, it's arguable that the chances of a second generation business failing is more.
Really?
Yes. Hey, we have on a negative
because now Bagogi certain races, you don't have to.
He check many second generation business na adrozendo.
Yes.
Na akare.
Yes.
And in kebe eziokwu no orugo mgbe ndị mmadụ na-atụzi ahịa na enwe na ala ka esi megere harụ business a yefe ụmụaka n'aka na manụzi maka the business.
Yes.
Maka na mistake ndị nne na nna na-eme mbụ na ị na-agba ya bụ mbọ ewe ike ichefu ụmụ gị iru ma eche mgbe ị kagolo ezigbo nka befe bịa kpọbata ha na the business. Mana nke bụ eziokwu maka I am the last out of 6 children.
Really? Wow.
And ka anyị ncha niile na-eto onye ọbụla chọrọ ịmago nna anyị kụziri anyị ị ga-agba mbọ onwe gị onye ọbụla na-agbakwana ya bụ mbọ
as in every malam to his kettle.
So ngwa ngwa na-agụcha university emeche service at age 23 na-achọzi ịba amị ewetachego form.
You wanted to join the army.
That was my dream career.
You don't say.
Nke bụ eziokwu. Mana mgbe m na-achọzi imeche ha bụ service.
Yes.
Ka my mom bido gbadobe m. Na-asị m nna na okirichegokwe na ụmụ ya niile.
Everybody
ka ọ na-ene anya na finish enu school ka nyere ya aka. Adọle ndọrọ ndọrọ ebido family politics. Ọkpụọ ya. Onye ọbụla zuo m arụ sị m ka ihe na-eme na ihe nne anyị na-ayọ m na-ama mme na ha mega akarụ m mma ekwugidezi ya bụ nna nwanne and nke bụ eziokwu bụ mgbe anyị chee ịba amị anyị marụ na ọ ga-adị ụta.
Yes.
Maka na ịba amị kịta bụ great risk n'obodo Nigeria.
Do you get?
Nna akpọrọ gị jee ma Obama ịghọta gị na ndị ekperima ịghọta. So mgbe a bịazi bịa convince si eme wata gị maka before then abụ somebody like all my life I'm passionate just like my mom who founded the school in 1988. Of course the primary school kid at 4 years. Wow. So mgbe ọ na-afan their passion, so more discover kwa mgbe immediately na finish secondary at age 16 mkpọkọta ụmụaka na-akụzi ha na-eme private lesson na-eweta echete ewe ike ewe ụmụaka 6 private lesson na-eme dị special maka na target ụmụaka na-adị eme ọfụma.
So you hold them by the hand until they start.
Until onye ga-agụwa ihe ọ ga-eme calculation ife mkpọrọ ya bụ IAP, Intelligence Activation Program.
You don't take away you and abbreviations.
Yeah.
One
kwanta Hausa na ụta. Yeah. Mgbe ebidosi ya weta ụmụaka 6 maga na-eje ya bụ njem a na-akpa ndị nke mebe ọfụma mwepụ ha ihe a na-akwụ m dem 1,000 mgbe anị ọsa na ọ bụrụ nke ọ ga-abụ ijide $1
ndị 1 meal or a plate
ọ dị egwu dị anyị ọ ga-egotekwere gị plate na
a plate mama places without meat
ịchọkwara ime one na some hotels in this area ịma ngotewu ofu mmanya ọ ya bụ na ego Nigeria agbadago mana mba ahụ ijide ihe dị ka at the end of the month akwụọ m 6,000 dịka ọ dị 16 years nọrụ n'egwu
nọrụ mma
ịghọta. So mana ihe yelukwala aka bụ na mgbe m finish secondary school na-ejezi university dị ụta adị m versatile mpụtakwa ọ bụ na madrọ business school mbịakwabeghela aka na school kụziela ụmụaka na-edevelop mgbe aka ma mụọ m na-eyopụte.
It was
science ka mme. My first degree. Even though na agụrụ art jebe emego m ewe background in diplomacy work in anti-corruption and diplomacy of the United Nations.
Yes.
So ima ga-agụlụzie na-eje mana mba ahụ ya nwabịa ya opụta si na ọ dịkwa ka nwa so mgbe m finish nsi oke mgbe ọ yọta mụ na ife m ga-eme bụ ka m lụbaziele ya secretary at that age 23. Ọ dịzi m surprise mgbe nwaanyị wasị m nna na ọkwa director ka ị ga-abụ nna ntie nkiricha onwe m then so director I became the youngest school director in Enugu. Nnọrọ n'ọfịs den mmadụ ga-achọta m na-asị m ka ebe director maka den nna adị m slim den ịghọta gị ọ na-enekwa ya ịmago my mom bụ somebody na-enyocha mmadụ you chepụta m within 1 year na ịmago the probation they take it along o mee me signatory like herself if I na-akpọ either A or B to sign meaning that my signature at age
it's
24
almost as powerful
can remove all the money in the account. Amadị m ihe ka nwaanyị obi ana nna asị onwe m na ọ bụ na ife ụwa ụmụaka ọ ga-abịa asị gị na ajọ mmụọ batụ isi ọ bụkwa nna ya bụ ajọ mmụọ
buru ya jekiri World Cup
na my brother na igbokọrọ ụdị ha otu na ọ bụ na mana nwaanyị nwa na-ekili m mee ọ nọkwa ndụ like 13 years after. Nke dị very interesting enwere one day ọ sị mụ na weta bank statement ka ekele maka ọ nọ n'afọ fụ na the school na-aba ewe ịmago nwekọta idea ya asị nne m welezie idea young blood ejikọta ọnụ ya bụ amara na-eme so ya ka esi na-afe na-grow as an institution in all ramification. Look where to the extent of government recognizing our effort. Since I be like if I na private sector, ka emezele na public sector.
Wow, amazing. So you've told us about the upsides of running a second generation business. I mean the trust that was given to you at such a young age. What were the downsides?
Yes, the downside, Bona. And I bought into a business that existing because can I inherit the assets, can I inherit the liabilities
and the problems
and the challenges. So na first thing I get megodi, I believe fendo you wanna bob research. So that any decision you take, you will a clear understanding of a HA address. And makajo say biala say finance obode e bahaleba. Ma maybe no ọ na-anụgo okwu n'obi ka imele a sị na onye na-amala ebe mmiri bido mabịa ọma mma ebe mmiri bido okwụsị ana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ị na-abata second generation business edekwa ka Moses a ga-ajụ gị who made you a leader over us maka ewe ndị nọbụde maybe nne gị ma nna gị chere ịghọta so ha bịa na-elele gị asị onye nke a na-ama na ebe maka nke bụ nke eziokwu na my nursery primary and secondary school na the school. School Biaburuze director.
Really?
Yes. So I'm under the tutelage of my mom, nursery primary and secondary.
Wow.
So nkebe eziokwu na the principal nọ na the school. No go 28 years. Piawa amaya mbe nọ school.
Wow.
Mana my mom did the type ọ ga-abụ a teacher pia gị ihe. Whether na the wrong or right, a man gwe maka egwe yokwa aga ekpako.
Yes.
So some of them water na ihe dị ụta dị. Ma mgbe emelụ nke ọjọọ ma nke emelụ. Oya ha na-apịa gị. So mgbe m bịara ọfụ mmago ya ọbụla ewe ndị na-eme makwa ndị na anyị ma na onye ebe.
We know you from the beginning.
Mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ọ bụrụ na ị na-aya mala ebe ị na-eje marakwa the authority. Gụwa akọwa ha na egwu emegoko gịnị echenjigo na mgbe bụkwa dia student ịkwa ya ugwu kịta ịba ọga ha ga-akwa ya egwu na maka na ụwa bụ turn by turn ewelo ya hafụlụ ọga iche so ọ garuo ọrụ gị adọnye elu gị right gị kwa ya egwu ugwu gị orukwa enu m ị ga-eme na eme maka ọ bụrụ na emele mgbe nke gị ụtarị ka ịpịa m mgbe nke m ga-achụ gị achụ
ma apịawa gị azụ
ịghọta ime
ma apịawa gị azụ. Wow. So what was your biggest problem amongst all of that? Government are not June and Aruna, or what's the biggest fight you for the first time?
Okay, nke bụ eziokwu bụ na part of the biggest fight in Funugo bụ na ewe ndị amaghị ebe ha si dị anyị maka tapụta bịa zaba anyị school jili ndị police.
Are you serious?
Na ha na-eti mana nke bụ eziokwu bụ na uche nna da ayọ ya ọbụla ị na-eme business in Nigeria ọ bụrụ na ịdịrọ deep into government ma ọkwa eshi ego ike na ọ da afịakwa arụ ihe nke mmadụ awọ nke onye ọzọ. So mgbe nsogbu a bụ ihe si my mom bụ tukwula a na-eweta gị na nke erula ya ọmụzọ ịwata na ịkarịrị ya na ụmụ m ga-ahandle and I handle the matter. I told my mom because all we my mom na agwa which we grew up with and I grew up personally with. Ọ sị na nke bụ eziokwu maka mgbe anyị na-eto ihe ama dị ka bụ ụmụ school mommy.
Ụmụ school mommy.
My mom was the first person there who go and school mommy then.
Wow.
34
because
years.
I'm in my school. I bought school mommy. I'm with school mommy in school.
Yes. So man, emago. Gietego.
Enwere ebe ọ na-ebido.
Che emago mba na meditate. O ya ọ na-agwa ase. Na ihe ga-atụ ya ụtọ as a mom. Ga-abụ a time. Actually refer to ya. Ya about mom. I connect with any of us, not the other way around. Because Obon and I almost school mommy, Yogosibuna. Her glory be an influence
over
now cover. Man always in Boru, Nenuguana. Afia na sena kwa CEO. Na my mom be one day, mom took Ubema and Simna. No, me na man arugo kwa shame. Water. Some not so happy for me. And even when she was still alive then, because she was seeing a lot of things. Someone na oburo kwa ba ki ha belo. Na born afom. No government ga acho macho. United Nations. Na why na ekwu. Only thing na ewute mo okay na some of these things. Mecha go man onolos because recently I represented West Africa in the United Nations. Wow. I was selected. Wow. Out of 30 people I selected globally. I was there at the UN headquarters. Wow. So and like appointment my happiness. I didn't lobby mate. It
was by merit.
Yes, I bought my phone. Send me again me. So okay, kwani house I na me na ka gbalo ndị Bible. Yes. Emekwa ka ndị na-eto eto what education. Yana the importance. Maka you wear quality education. Emana, you can't disconnect quality education. Na mmadụ aim of my business development. Na mmadụ aim of my building an economy because in case you know a developed nation. If you can't have developed nation without developed minds.
Definitely.
Na na-ekwu development abụrụ just ịrụ ụzọ na maka ewego ndị make that hypothesis. Sị na ikporo ndị niile na America bịa Nigeria. Ikporo ndị niile na Nigeria jee America. Yeah, 5 years. The next 5 years, America amata ga-abụ Nigeria. Maka that lack of maintenance culture. Na ndị mmadụ ga-akwụli everything go. You understand? Enough na aga na-ewe hold up na America. Noise everywhere, honking of horns and all the rest. Mana ebiazie here, if na everything are organized, and you will places like Bonny Island, ebe ndị ọcha na Nigeria is organized. Are they work there?
Yes.
Emana, ndị nọ there based on their mind they've developed. The same thing kwa ka aga eme gịnị? Ka aga bring.
Yes.
You know. Ebiafo like here keta like we ha na-akpọ hero worship. Ndị ọchịchị ịzọ ndị mmadụ okwu n'isi. Ha na-aga ụta ha na-egbusara nno eme ụdị ha n'obodo oyibo a na-eche na ala na-ayọ ya because nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ka ị ga-esi kọwa m na ndị na-ata afụfụ to approach a president, maybe the president of Switzerland,
public office holder,
is easier than a local government chairman here. Nna mfụ ha na-eti mayor nna ihe a na-amị m n'ime obi because no wele ebe
enwekwe nke mfụ ipe nni
well, I buy no. Ema na-ekwu okwu Nigeria is a rich nation. My brother, ego anyị na-eri dị ka ego budget n'obodo a. Bụ ego ndị ọzọ ji agba party ma ele other countries obodo aka. N'iwe ike ịbịa like most of these developed nations, just one state. Budget ha carry the whole of entire Nigeria. And nke bụ eziokwu dịka like na maka anyị na-ekwu maka education ka m kwuye maka ihe asụ striker. Ema nke bụ eziokwu. Nigeria eji ha that money. Mana ihe mee gọọmenti ama nkọwụsị na ụmụ ibe na ego adọrọkwa. Maka na
ya atụ ego aka atụ onye.
Maka ego a na-erisi ezigbo ego ebitere ebite. Mgbe Buhari bata ihe o ji bụ 9 trillion ka eji asụ ụgwọ ka a handle over. Na nkịta ọ na-achụzi over 40 trillion. Nwoke na-ekwukwe na before na-apụ na ọ ga-clock 50 trillion. Na mgbe a ga-reduce the money ga-abụ in 2024 ọ ga-achịchago.
Wow.
Ya bụ na ya bụ ego adọrọ. And like now as we are speaking, now when you look at the debt servicing ratio of the country and revenue, the debt has a revenue, debt servicing ratio, you understand? Has a revenue. And that means we are officially in a debt trap. So na nkebe eziokwu na the money adọrọ mana ha ama ngwa gị maka ị ga-afọkwa ha ewerego 1.4 billion bunyekwa ndị Nigeria moto ịghọta. So ya bụ nkebe eziokwu.
So guy, let's still proceed, right? Second generation business, right? How you took over and how you tackled the challenges that you met. Let's talk about your mother's tenure as head of that business. K4 Giko may correctly, right, that lifted the school, right, through the fetus stage and made it something tangible enough now you can live for your children. Because if you notice Nanibo, it's not that we don't have thriving businesses. So no, it's how to make that transition, grow the business and transition. What steps can your mother take to ensure that you had something to take over?
Yes. Nkebe eziokwu o mere ọfụma because mgbe ọ na-eme ha 50th birthday. After that 50th birthday, busy ọkpọkọtebe m nso na the business. Until she handed over.
Yeah.
Not say like a supervisor. Mistake many people na-emebe. Ha na-echo ya akazi ezigbo nka. In fact, one man on me what one Igbo prosperous Igbo man. You understand? Kata ezigbo nka. He didn't tell the children about his wish for their business and all the rest of it. Ọ na-eche do ụmụaka sị na ya ma nchekwa ka amali ihe dị na wheel. Na keta anyị nọ ndụ. Care our share in this business. Are you bringing us on board? Are you sharing? The man ball her police. So what? Police police after ka interrogate the children. Interrogate the children. Was there the man na ko say you know maka bakwani her of mana. Kamal who gets what?
Yes.
Okay. Understand?
So that's why you able where you now go.
Yes. Because here that thing the approach you are even will does not stop problems when people die.
Yes.
The water. You had a wish, you follow that wish, you mainstream your children. Board of directors, anything.
Yes.
When you are alive, you are watching what is likely going to happen when you live. But many people always wait till when they are about to die. They go weak. So no come like in be do earlier on. Start telling them the value of the business. Start giving them the vision. And that's one of the things she always tell me man stop kwa Queen's Model Secondary. No kwa Queen's Model University. So me, I'm already thinking as I'm engaging stakeholders, if I travel, I say I work with this vision.
Yes.
Right? My own self, I'm also preparing, raising up my academic prowess, right?
Yes.
And feathers.
Portfolio. So
because I'm na university
vision.
na Abia. No, it's just for a matter of time. Sitting again,
because wow. Nah. Yeah, the very deep. Yeah, the very, very deep. Let us now look into the future. Since your mother has played her part, right, in doing all these things that you've listed, what then are you doing? Right? This business or ga pass on to another generation.
Yeah, nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ife mụ na-eneza bụ nke bụ eziokwu bụ na abịa like now in the southeast. Agụọ school one na one. Agụye school anyị. Dịka school ọ ga-abụ. Nwatakịrị jeche. They prove what both in character and learning. Yeah, because nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ihe kare. home can face get a buru carry makosi different places
yes, even
a lot of distractions.
Yes.
So nobody we can help what the child focus on a part. Obolo made, obo doctor go leago, obo lawyer, obo nkobo na obo.
Obo content creator.
Imago content creator.
Yes.
Obagote in the society, obo watakile jemon. Oh yeah, because the only way you can assess your success in school system by your products. Nega abia, they can nada my students. Sin na ebe ncholo ga abu mbia. Nambata UNTH. A former student, asemon na uncle. No na ato.
Very sweet.
Manambia prison visitation. Ese uncle ga ko your way. Amaro komo ebo.
Yes.
Wata. Na maka o de embarrassing guy. Na ke bo mari bo monko.
Imme 201.
Mo ne no na Black Maria. E bo monko amaro kwa me bo mo chukuma afa ma abro kwa chukuma at that moment. I'll
be proud to associate
some
with
of your
you.
students because yes, having stayed in the sector, right?
Yes.
Like up to 15 years. Some children I met them when I took us over as the director.
Yeah.
No, like 6 then, SS3.
Yes.
Agochago.
Yes.
So a lot of places I will enter. He might give for somebody, some of them say again, oh yeah, segonko or director.
Otogi.
Actually, me know from the other end. So I know everything about to avoid that.
Yes.
And what akele ekwesile ebe ibia na ano onola eba.
So we've talked about how businesses are not getting it right? So how about the Chokwana from the depth of their hearts to see that these businesses are handed over to their children? Come on, the child know we are interested in that line of business. We in another direction, right? What can a business owner do in that? How do we come to imago a comfortable for the two parties?
Yeah. Oh, we go two mistake in for parents and their makebe. When they had that impression. Number one, that without me you cannot amount to anything in life.
Yes.
On a word, any one of you get gonna go. So most of the time, they develop interest now, but they want to prove a point to their parents. Number two, that societal pressure. You only made it because your parents made it.
Yes. Is there a problem with that?
The simple truth, Obuna, were the kind of parents you were, they are happy.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my friends then also ni hembo mo na na-ekwu okwu osem na mbụ nne m mere m eze nse nke nse na agụ ga-amụlili agụ.
Yes. Yes.
No, nke bụ eziokwu bụ that maybe why you are struggling as a person could be because you had a struggling mother. Are you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's for me to be able to contain the shoes of my mom.
Just a mountain to climb. We're leaving no one behind. This is our time to shine. Can you feel it? Across the lake, through the heartache and pain. After the storm comes the rain. I can see there's no mountain we can climb. We can make it if we try. If we all say yes, I believe.
NAFest 2024, the Battle of the States.
On the news today, Governor Mbah charges contractors on speedy completion of projects. Federal government's orders overhaul as TCN fears more breakdowns of national grid.
You've often wondered, what does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? You know, what's the intersections? What are the conversations we're having about our Igbo spirituality, culture? An example is people wearing red cap. You know, everybody wears red cap. Are they entitled to wear it? What does Nzen also mean? What does Igbo spirituality mean? How have we changed as a society over the last 20, 30, 50, 100 years? Every Thursday, 6 p.m., if you want to know more on libations, as I have a conversation with different people from all walks of life who common thread is being Igbo, or with Igbo, or living in Igbo land. What does it mean to be Igbo in today's Nigeria? Cheers. And, I need to do this. Let me pour to our ancestors.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you